Hello everyone, welcome to TalentSprint. In this session of Polity, we shall discuss center-state relations from Articles 245 to 263. So always the states must coordinate with the central government and vice versa so that the nation will move forward and it will develop. So does states make nation or nation make states? States make nation. So when the states develop, the country will develop. So what are the types of relations we have in the center-state relations? The first type is legislative relations from Articles 245 to 255. Next is administrative relations from Articles 256 to 263. So moving on to the first type of relations, that is legislative relations. So in that the important article is article number 245. So what does article number 245 say? It says the extent of laws made by the parliament and the state legislatures. What is the extent? Till which territory it will be applicable. So what are the extents of parliament and state legislatures? The parliament can make laws for any part of the country. It may be under any state or it may be between two or more states. It can make any law for any part of the country. And what does the state legislature can do? The state legislature can make laws for the any part of the territory in the state only, not outside the states. So parliament can make any law on the any part of the country, and the state legislature can make law on any part of the state. And next is the parliament can make laws. No one can object that it is of extraterritorial operations or it is over jurisdiction or extraterritorial jurisdiction. What do you mean by this? It means that parliament can make laws without any objection. Okay. Moving to the next article, that is article number 246. So what does it say? Subject matter of laws made by the parliament and state legislatures. So what do you mean by that? So it means that what are the subjects, on which subjects the parliament and the state legislatures can make laws. So we have three types of lists mentioned in 7th schedule of Indian Constitution and also in article number 246. The first list is union list. It consists of 100 items. So on those 100 items of union list, the union parliament has exclusive power to make laws. Next is state list, that is list number 2. It has 61 items and the state legislature can make laws on those 61 items in the state list. And the concurrent list is the list number 3. It has 52 number of items. On those 52 number of items in the concurrent list, the both union parliament and state legislature can make laws. So these are the subject matter of laws which can be made. Suppose any matter is not mentioned in these three lists, it is called as residuary powers. So now we shall see some of the important items in three different lists. So under union list we have defense, atomic energy, citizenship, airports, ship ports, national highways, all these come under the union list. The union parliament has exclusive power to make laws on these items. These are some of the examples. State legislature cannot make laws on this. Next is state list. So state legislature can make laws on land, agriculture, police, prisons, liquor, local government, all these the state legislature can make laws on these items. And what come under concurrent list? Education, adulteration of foods, forests, trade unions, all these come under the concurrent list with which the union parliament and the state legislature can make laws on these items. Okay. So moving on, if some item is not mentioned in any list, it comes under the article number 248 called as residuary powers of legislation. What do you mean by residuary powers of legislation? If any item is not mentioned in any of the three lists, it comes under residuary powers. Tell me who can make laws on this item? It is not mentioned in any list. Guess, is it Union Parliament or state legislature? Yes, it's the Union Parliament which has a exclusive power to make laws on the residuary powers of legislation. The example is it can increase taxes. It can impose a tax which is not mentioned in any of the lists. So moving on to the next article, that is article number 249. So what is this article number 249? The power of Parliament to make laws with respect to a matter in the interest of the nation. So Parliament can make laws on the state list at some reasons. So what are those reasons? First is national interest. With the interest of the nation, the Parliament can make laws on the national interest in the state list items. So when it can do so, so there is a condition. The Council of States, that is Rajya Sabha, should pass a resolution with a 2/3 majority. Then the Parliament can make laws on the state lists which is of national interest. For national interest, it can make laws on the state list. So what is the condition? The Rajya Sabha should pass a resolution asking the Parliament to make a law on the state list. This is the first condition. Next is the Parliament can make laws when the national emergency is in operation. So it can make laws on the state list when the national emergency is in operation. So under Article 352, national emergency is imposed by the President of India. So when national emergency is imposed, the President will impose it. The Parliament can make laws on the state list for those areas which have national emergency. Okay, so that law will prevail for 1 year period and it will expire from the date of expiration of that law. Suppose today this is the expiration of the law which was made by the Parliament under this. So from today onwards 6 months it will prevail. This is the meaning of this line. So first is when Council of States, as Rajya Sabha, it can make law on the state list. Then when national emergency imposed, it will make laws on the state list. Next is article numbers 251 and 252. So what are these articles? Inconsistency. First is 251. Inconsistency of laws made by the Parliament and state legislature. Suppose there is a law which is made on a single subject, both by Union Parliament and state legislature. So which law will prevail, Union Parliament or state legislature? Obviously Union Parliament law will prevail whenever there is conflict between law made by both Union Parliament and state legislature. This is mentioned by article number 251. Next is article number 252. What does it say? Laws which are made by the Parliament and for 2 or more states. What do you mean by 2 or more states? So when it can make laws, first is Rajya Sabha, when it asks, it will make laws. Next is when national emergency is in operation, and next is when the states ask to do so. When 2 or more states ask the Parliament to make a law, then the Parliament can make laws on the items on state list. These are the conditions. So we shall recall once. What are those? When Parliament can make laws on the state list, it can make when Rajya Sabha asks with special majority, that is 2/3 majority. Next is when national emergency is in operation. Next is when state emergency, that is President's rule under Article 356 is in operation. And next is when 2 or more states ask to make a law, then it can make laws. So these are the 4 conditions which the Parliament can make laws on the items on state list. These are legislative relations. Through laws they are related. Next we shall see administrative relations. So important article is article number 262. So always there will be a fight between the states and the central government, either for finances. States will fight each other for land and water. So important dispute is water disputes. It is settled through Article number 262. Adjudication of disputes arising because of interstate rivers and river valleys. So rivers may be flowing through different states. So each state may be claiming its own stake in that. So to adjudicate these disputes, to solve these disputes, the Rivers Disputes Act was passed in 1956. Under this act, special tribunals were established. Special tribunals means special courts for this purpose only. So examples are Krishna Water Disputes Tribunal established in 1969 and also Godavari Water Disputes Tribunal. These two were established with single tribunal. That is in 1969, and the head of this was Bachawat, Justice Bachawat Tribunal. So to solve the disputes between the rivers which are flowing through different states. Next is Narmada Water Disputes Tribunal, established in the same year 1969, headed by V. Ramaswamy, Justice V. Ramaswamy. So what is their use? To solve the disputes between the states regarding rivers. Next is Article number 263, the establishment of interstate council. So whenever there are problems between the states, an interstate council will solve those disputes. So these are mentioned in article number 263. So why means there should be a coordination between states and between the central government and the state governments too. And this Interstate Council was recommended by a committee called Sarkaria Commission, headed by R.S. Sarkaria. Moving on, the Interstate Council consists of Prime Minister as its chairman, and other chief ministers of those states will be the members, and important cabinet ministers will also form part of it. So always the chairman of the Interstate Council is headed by the Prime Minister. It is to solve the disputes between the states. Okay. And regarding important center-state relations committees, we shall see some of the important committees of the center-state relations. So what are those? The first one was Rajamannar Committee, headed by P.V. Rajamannar, established in the year 1969. Same for center-state relations. Next is Sarkaria Commission, headed by R.S. Sarkaria in the year 1983. And next is Punchi Commission, headed by Madan Mohan Punchi, established in the year 2007. So these are various committees which were formed to solve the disputes and make recommendations for effective center-state relations in the country. So hope you have learned enough things in this session. We'll continue in the next session. Thank you.